Hi, welcome to SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Subscribe right now, leave any comments in the comment section, like and share the video as well. Big thank you to everyone who's been subscribing to the channel, that's been supporting the channel. Hit 200 subscribers, really pleased with that milestone. Would love to spread the word further of SCW. Let's see if we can make the channel bigger. But this particular video, I'm going to give you the news for the 29th of August, as well as a Raw recap, Raw revisited, Raw review, whatever you want. We're going to talk Raw on this for you right now. But I'm going to start off with the news for you right now. And the reason Samoa Joe was not on Raw this week is because of an injury he suffered at Saturday's WWE live event in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Now, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer reports that Joe is expected to be out for 4 to 6 weeks and will likely miss the No Mercy event as a result. No details have been announced what the injury could be, but of course, once I hear anything on this, I will bring you the update here on SCW. Of course, it may not be the only injury, though, that was suffered in Arkansas. In fact, on Monday evening, Xavier Woods may have also suffered an injury. Now, according to a correspondent at the event, Woods went for a jumping DDT, but his knee ended up buckling up. The referee threw up the dreaded X sign, and Kofi Kingston quickly rolled up for a finish. After the match, Woods was holding his knee in tears prior to being helped to the back. Of course, no indication how long he'll be out injured for, how serious that is at this particular time, but clearly not a good weekend for live events in Arkansas with 2 injuries there. One of them being very key of Samoa Joe. If you believe the rumours, he was going to be facing John Cena at No Mercy. We now know that that is definitely not going to be the case any further. And of course, Xavier Woods has kind of been really building that repertoire on SmackDown Live, really. The New Day's become quite a key member of the stable at the moment. He's always been key verbally, but he's been involved in a lot more in-ring action, so it's a bit of a shame to see this happen to Xavier Woods also. But going on to, of course, what the rumours were for Samoa Joe there for John Cena, that seems to be clearly off the table because, of course, yesterday WWE did announce that John Cena would be facing Roman Reigns at No Mercy, not being saved to WrestleMania. I got that one wrong, didn't I? You know, I never thought it'd be at WrestleMania, but there was rumours that it was going to be a slow build. It obviously feels that WWE feels 5 weeks is enough for this, and do you know what? After the way it turned out on Raw, I'm kind of looking forward to it a bit more now. It was definitely the key highlight of Raw. I mean, looking at it, there was a verbal confrontation between the two, a contract signing segment, and things got very personal very quickly. Now, Reigns actually called out Cena for burying younger talent, and Cena called Reigns a cheap-ass corporate-created John Cena bootleg. Now, that's not an easy one to get out there, but I tell you, very entertaining stuff indeed. Roman Reigns then sort of struggled on the promo, seemed to not be able to handle the promo and forgot his lines. And John Cena said, you know, if you want to be the guy, you've got to be able to cut a promo, you know, breaking the fourth wall. It was very, very entertaining stuff. And then, of course, when it got to the point where Roman Reigns had sort of come back to it and got himself back in, swearing twice as well in the promo, John Cena then said, you've now turned yourself a half-decent promo for the first time in 5 years. Let's turn that back round. And quite clearly, John Cena buried Roman Reigns on that promo. Let's not get anyone mistaken on that. Was definitely a buried promo there on Roman. But Dave Meltzer has discussed the segment on today's installment of the Wrestling Observer Radio, and it was mentioned that the segment was completely scripted. The whole thing apparently was scripted. The promo came from the writing team, and Reigns nor Cena were ad-libbing during this, and anything controversial that was said by either of the two got prior approval. So there you have it from Dave Meltzer there, giving that one for you today. But for me, it came off kind of like a shoot interview, and that's why I particularly really enjoyed it. It kind of felt a sense of realism in it, and of course digging into one of the real issues that we have with both of these superstars. I mean, Cena saying how, you know, it should have been like people want him to have a heel turn, you know, and that he doesn't, he stands by what he believes in. And honestly, I mean, John Cena coming out with lines such as well, you know, a guy like Roman Reigns who says he's there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then on the Monday, I just turn up on the Monday. You want to say that about me? Well, I tell you what, I may be a part-timer, but I can do this better than you do full-time. And him saying about the United States Championship as well, how he was honoured to be US champion, try and make something of that title, how Roman Reigns diminished that belt. We even see things like, I mean, John Cena saying, you say I'm the guy that buries talent. Actually, I've not main evented WrestleMania in 5 years. I wish Roman had responded to that. I really do. I wish he'd said, yeah, because I'm the guy who's main eventing WrestleMania now. But it seemed Roman had just lost his edge. Unfortunately, he got lost out there a little bit with John Cena, but still it was captivating television. I hope, actually really do hope that they do build more on this and do maybe 1 or 2 more promos like this, because if we can get where Roman Reigns can say the right things back to John Cena, he doesn't forget the lines and he doesn't get buried back in return, it would be nice to see a come up. And I think actually there will be bums on seats looking forward to seeing this match now when it takes place at WWE No Mercy. One more report there for you on the news quickly before I go into Raw itself, and I've given you mainly the main part of Raw there for you in one fair bit already. But Enzo Amore, now of course PW Insider reports that the original plan for Enzo on the show was for actually him to compete in the over-the-top Battle Royal for a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. But apparently WWE decided to pull him out of the match over the course of the day, which I think was the right thing to do because now he's a part of 205 Live. Although he did say that he could do both things at the same time. But personally for me, I keep him on 205 Live, keep him away from that Raw roster right now. Apparently there's a lot of backstage heat on Enzo. And personally, I think he's coming off very unlikable on TV as well right now. I think WWE are portraying him quite badly. And if he is doing all this stuff as well, ad-libbing on his own, he's not doing himself any favours if you ask me. But I really didn't like the segment with Enzo Amore anyway. For me, buried Noam Dar, made him seem kind of like he was nothing. That's not the way to treat 205 if you're going to be involved with that. I thought the whole segment with that was awful anyway. Perhaps it would have been better to have Enzo in the Battle Royal, but just for the reason that he wouldn't have just, made Noam Dar look so weak. But the Battle Royal, to go into that, I thought it was okay, but the thing with me was the Battle Royal, I think the whole booking side of it was played out okay, but I just don't know the purpose going forward. Of course, like I say, rumours, things were meant to have changed. The Miz was perhaps maybe going to have a more high-profile match at No Mercy, but it seems now he's going to go against Jeff Hardy next week on Raw. Still no clear direction of what his feud will be going into No Mercy. I like the fact they're trying to do something with the Intercontinental Championship, a Battle Royal to determine it, and the little tweaks they did in there was pretty good. I mean, Anderson and Gallows throwing out Matt Hardy. That could be the start of maybe the Hardys and Gallows and Anderson down the line if Jeff Hardy doesn't win the IC belt. We see a continuation of the Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt rivalry there, continue with just a little snippet on Raw, which I think was good. We see some people compete twice on the show, which I wasn't a fan of. I would have rather seen another women's match or another 205 match really take the place rather than people doing double duty on the evening. That's what I would say that I wasn't such a big fan of. I like that Emma actually got a victory over Mickie James. I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't actually enjoy the two singles matches with Seth Rollins and Cesaro along with Sheamus and Dean Ambrose. I don't know, it just didn't really do anything for me if I'm being brutally honest. A lot of bad booking decisions, I would say, because it was clear that a lot of cheating was going on in the matches. It just seemed the referee just turned a blind eye to it, which to me just didn't make any sense at all. We look at the Brock Lesnar promo of Paul Heyman on Braun Strowman. Strowman not on the show, but very interesting. But I do feel that Heyman's promos are getting slightly repetitive. I've heard a lot of people say it over the course. They've tried to make it a little bit different where Brock actually says something at the end and says suplex city bitch, which of course it gives a little bit of something to it, but it was just enough just to keep you holding on. It wasn't really something that made you feel, oh, I have to see the next bit. Until we really got to John Cena and Roman Reigns on Raw, it was a very flat show, and I must admit, I wasn't really particularly enjoying it. Although some things look okay when you say it on paper, I don't think it delivered as well. When you look back then as well with Elias Sampson with the performance, and then the Southpaw wrestling thing of Heath Slater being dressed up as, was it like an Elvis Presley knockoff? And for me, that didn't do anything. It was a horrible segment on Raw. And the main event itself, I mean, Alexa Bliss, I'm happy to see her win the belt back. I clearly got that prediction wrong. It looks like they are going to continue with that rivalry of her and Sasha Banks, but Nia Jax now inserted into the mix, maybe a triple threat at No Mercy. We'll have to wait and see how that will play out. I think at the moment, the Raw title, the Women's Championship, it is going around a bit like a hot potato. I don't think that that's right for the belt. I think there was no point in Sasha winning it in the first place if she's going to lose it 8 days later. Although I do think they are starting to build a storyline here, not with the actual friction, which they could have done natural friction with the two women, which is supposedly meant to be backstage. They are backing and cooling off on that, but instead it looks like maybe we could have the triple threat, which then maybe Nia Jax would probably lose, and it wouldn't surprise me if Sasha Banks was the one to beat Nia Jax to then cause a bit of friction between Alexa Bliss and Nia to continue, and then Alexa Bliss gets her rematch clause and then loses the belt. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way it plays. So Sasha Banks still wins the belt on No Mercy, then wins the return match at the following pay-per-view, which I believe is TLC, and then maybe as we go into November, Sasha Banks is a clear women's champion and then can start being a dominant Raw women's champion rather than being someone who loses the belt every time she straight away wins it and can't defend it. So that's what I think could happen. We'll have to wait and see. But that's my review of Raw. I thought the show overall for me, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. But I think really if you look at outside Roman Reigns and John Cena, I mean, that for me was an 8 or even a 9. I wasn't sure about the tag team match to put together with them two and Gallows and Anderson afterwards. That didn't need to be done in my personal point of view. Obviously needed to fill time in some way or fashion. The Raw Women's Championship match was fine to watch as well. That was okay. But it just felt for me, a lot of the show felt flat elsewhere. I do like the idea of the IC title. I do like the idea of the Battle Royal. The Battle Royal really did play out okay. Actually, to be fair, I've not mentioned Jason Jordan. I think Jason Jordan had quite a good showing in that Battle Royal as well. Certainly that didn't do him too much harm this week on WWE programming, so I'm pleased for him with that. But that's everything from me anyway, and I hope you enjoyed this particular video. SmackDown Live preview is up and available for you right now, so go and check that out for you before SmackDown Live hits your screens this evening. See what you can expect on the show tonight. Thank you for supporting the channel as well. As always, this is SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. 200 subscribers. Let's see now. The road starts to 300 from here. Thank you for watching as always, and yeah, I'll see you next time here on YouTube.com. Take care.